Hey guys, it's Bird. This is the third week of the Bird's Nest, and this week we're going to be talking about what Christ looks for in a disciple. And I want to focus in on the first point right away, and that is having an unrivaled love for Christ. Now, what does that mean? An unrivaled love. This simply means, in the shortest terms and in the simplest way possible to put it, nobody is equal to Christ. The world is here. Your family is here, your friends may be somewhere in between, your job is maybe somewhere underneath your family, and you might got a few other things in there, but Christ is way above you. He's up here. He's so high up, he's off camera. You guys can't even see him. He's right here, okay? He's literally right there. Okay. But anyways, he is number one. He is not number two. He's not number three. He's not 2.5. He's not 1.5. He is number one, numero uno. He is number one in your life. And the reason why he has to be number one, I'll tell you why right now. We have in Matthew 6:24, there is the old parable about how you cannot serve two masters, for you will either despise one and hate the other, or love one and despise the other. It's the same way, it's the same thing either way. You're only going to love one, okay? So if you have someone in your life, maybe it's your best friend that has been with you since the day you were born, or it's your significant other, and they've been with you since, I don't know, fifth or sixth grade, or it's your brother or sister, or whomever it may be. They can't be number one in your life, because in the end, you're going to have to choose. You're going to be put in position. Am I going to choose between my best friend, or my brother, or my significant other? Or am I going to choose Christ? Who's going to be number one? There can't be two number ones. That doesn't make sense, right? Okay? There has to be just one number one. Only one. Hence the reason why it's called one. It's only got to be one, and it's got to be Christ. In the end, you're going to have to choose, okay? And if you don't choose Christ, you're not gonna be displaying fruitful deeds of a disciple. You're not gonna be able to be qualified as a disciple in Christ. Okay, and we see this in Luke chapter 14. Christ says, "If anyone comes to me and does not hate their father, mothers, wives, children, brothers, sisters, even their own life, even yourself, you cannot be my disciple." If you want to look that up, that's Luke 14:26 through 27. I would encourage you guys to read it, especially the entire chapter. It's a great chapter, guys, about discipleship. I encourage you guys to get in it and read it and check it out, guys. The reason why, though, is because why you should have an unrivaled love is, like I said earlier, you're going to have to choose. You have to pick. Now, I want to touch back on this verse, because some of you may be wondering, you're telling me that I have to hate my wife, or my father, or my kids, or my best friend, or myself in order to follow Christ? You're telling me that I have to hate them? No, not hate as in, oh, you're so evil, I just want to beat the crap out of you, come here, No, that's not what I mean. And that's not what God means either. In this sense, Christ is talking about you have to put them just below Christ. They can be under Christ. Christ can be right here and they're right here. But Christ has to be here. He's got to be there. Now, why? Let's say the most important person in your life is your significant other. Been with you since middle school. You love them. You think the world of them. You think they hung the moon and stars. They're just so wonderful. I want to ask you something. And I don't say this to put you down or to make fun of you. I hope you guys know my heart. I love you guys. But I want to ask you something. Who created who? Did the person you're dating, or the person you got as number one, create Christ? Or did Christ create that person? I want you to think about that for a minute. And why is it important? It's important because no matter how much you may love this other person, they're never going to be able to carry you through life's problems as much as Christ will, because Christ has the solutions. Christ has the answers. Same thing, I know, I counted it for two. Christ has what is the word I'm looking for here? He has the answers to every enigma, every problem there is on this world or in your life before you even came across that problem. He has a way out for you when you think there is no way. And this other person is just as human as you. Just as human as you. They're gonna fall. Christ hasn't fallen. They're going to come short in many areas in your relationship. Christ won't. And it's not to say that they can't be in your life. No, of course they can't. They just can't be number one. They can't be number one, guys. You can love them. You can treat them with the most renowned respect. You can say, oh, you're just an amazing person, your best friend, I love you, brother. But Christ is number one. And he will bless your relationship with that person if it is in his will. And I assure you, Christ has nothing but the utmost respect for both parties, you and that person. Keep that in mind, guys. As an undesired love, this is one of the very many traits that God looks for in a disciple. Keep it in mind, guys. Know it, learn it, love it, and live it. Christ has a great future for you. He loves you. He wants nothing but the best for you. Okay, guys? This leads me to number 2. We've talked about people in our life and how that Christ has to be Jesus has to be number 1 and over them. I have to admit, I'm guilty of this next part. What about possessions? I mean, think about it. I know we all love Fortnite. Some of us do. I know we all love snacks. I love me some sunflower, dill pickle, sunflower seeds. Good. I love them. They're great. They're tasty. They're a perfect afternoon snack when you're sitting on the porch with your Mountain Dew and you're just sitting there rocking back and forth. I love it. I did it today, actually, and I don't feel one bit guilty. But what if God put me in a position to give my money for my habit to a homeless man who needed it? And I said, but Lord, this is my thing, man. I mean, you can't, come on, this is my thing. You know, I love you. I got nothing, I love you, brother. But honestly, this is my thing. What if God asked you to do that? Would it be wrong if you didn't do that? Would it be putting him second if you didn't? It would be. And let me tell you why. Because when you are a Christian, you follow Christ without answer, without question. No, it's not wrong to question, okay? I want to emphasize that right now. It is not wrong to question. But when God asks you to do something, there may be a tendency to question it. And it's okay to question it. But when we choose to put our possessions over him, and we say, Lord, I'm not giving that up. I'm questioning that. I know you're asking me to do that, but I'm questioning your choice or your command to me to put this aside and help this person. But I'm not going to do that right now. I'm sorry. I'm just not going to do that right now. We're putting him second when we do that. We're saying, my possession is more important than what your command is. And I want you to remember this. Jesus said, if you love me, you will obey me. That doesn't mean you got to be perfect, of course. No one's going to be perfect. You're saved by grace, through faith. But it does mean, if you love me, you'll take what I tell you to do to the heart, to sincerity, and you will do it to the fullest extent, because I'm the Lord. I don't like shoddy work. I am the Lord. I like work that is done under me, for me, to glorify me. Because remember, guys, it's not about you. It's not about us. It's not about the things we have. That's why it's not, they're not to be number 1. The people in our life are not to be number 1, and the possessions in our life are not to be number 1. It's to be Christ. It's to be God. He's to be number 1. So remember, there are some things in our life we do some things in our life that we have that we put over God sometimes. And I want to remember, for you guys to hone in on this. Be careful how often you do certain things. If you know that Monday Night Football's coming on, And come on, we all love Monday Night Football. But if you know what's coming on, and God is telling you in your heart, I want you to study some. Go read the book of Leviticus for me, son. Just take a step back from Monday Night Football. You don't need to see the lines tonight, okay? Just take a step back. It's all right. Read Leviticus. Read Proverbs. Catch up on your message. Catch up on the daily verse. Take a step back. If God is asking you to do that and you repeatedly say no, you're putting him second, and you're putting a possession or a desire that's man-made over him. And this is another way that's not being a good disciple. So how do we fix this? We reverse the effect, okay? When Christ asks us to do stuff, when Christ tells us, hey, I want you to go read your Bible, or I want you to sing a song of praise, or if you have a tune stuck in your head, I wake up almost every morning with a gospel song stuck in my head. Lately it's been, and I encourage you guys to listen to this song. It's called, oh man, I can't think of the song. I gotta think of the tune. I once was lost in sin, and Jesus took me in. The life of heaven to us. Come on, what's the song's name? It's by Elvis. Sorry for the brief interruption there, guys. It's by Elvis. It's oh my goodness, it's such a great song. Just a Little Talk with Jesus. Look it up, guys. If I have that tune stuck in my head, this is what I often do. I play it and I just sing it a few times. And keep in mind, when you're singing gospel songs, no matter where you're at, you are praising the Lord. You're putting him number one in your life. That's what you're doing. You're putting him number one in your life when you do that. When you're thinking about watching a show you probably shouldn't watch versus a show you could watch and you know you kind of want to watch that other show. Watch the gospel show. Like after I make this video, I'm going upstairs. I'm gonna have myself an ice cold Mountain Dew and I'm gonna watch the Bible series. You guys remember that from like 5 years ago? I love that series. I'm gonna watch that again. So I'm encouraging you guys, you know, if something is in your life and God is encouraging you to do something, but then you're kind of tempted to do something else and you continually do that something else, change it around. Take heed to God's word. You know, jump into what he wants you to do. Watch what happens, guys. I'm telling you, it's an amazing thing. Don't put possessions or bad habits over God. Make sure he's number one in your life. I'm not saying you guys can't do those things, watch Monday Night Football or enjoy a good snack. No, of course, he wants us to enjoy life, not just endure it. But limit yourself. Make sure that it's okay. Make sure that you're putting God first before you do those things, okay? The third and final thing, I'm about to wrap up, guys, so bear with me. The third and final thing is in making sure that God looks for in a disciple. The third and final thing God looks for in a disciple: a surrendering spirit. Now, what do I mean? Okay. A surrendering spirit is a spirit, a child of God like you or me, that's willing to accept being excluded and even being abandoned by those you love for Christ. Guys, I personally, let me tell you, I've never really been persecuted for my Christian faith. Not really. There was one time I was working and someone saw the Teen Bad Boys for Christ and they saw the For Christ on the back. And they looked at me and said, I guess that makes you in the minority. Good luck. And I kind of felt offended, but I didn't. But that's about the most I've ever had been persecuted. I'm going to tell you guys something. There's going to be days in your life where people are not going to like the fact that you're a Christian. Just remember, what's Christ's second greatest commandment? Love the neighbor. Do as little harm as you have to. Get out of there. Don't respond back to harsh criticism. Remember, rejoice at all times when you are persecuted for his name's sake. Consider it a blessing. Consider it a blessing, guys. It is written. Consider it pure blessings when you are persecuted for my name. Guys, it is, I think it's actually Matthew 5, chapter 14, I think. It's the 10th Beatitude. It's a beautiful thing. But remember, just you got to have a surrendering spirit, guys. You're going to be persecuted, and it's okay. It's not something to dread. God has his hand of protection on you. Don't ever forget it. He's watching over you. He loves you. He wants you to relish in this world. He wants you to thrive and survive, and just know God is with you. So let's go over this one last time. An unrivaled love, above possessions, surrendering spirit, keeping him above people, keeping him above possessions, and making sure that you are showing a surrendering spirit continually. This is just 3 simple things that a disciple of Christ has. This is 3 simple things that Jesus looks for in his disciples. That they put him first over people, they put him first over possessions, and that they are willing to be persecuted for his name's sake. If you want to look up for 9 other ways that disciples are shown, or should be showing the ways of being a good disciple, look up the Beatitudes in Matthew chapter 5. It's awesome, guys. I love it. I love it. It's an amazing thing. My favorite one is blessed are those who show mercy, for they will be shown mercy. It's kind of like you reap what you sow, give what you get. It's a beautiful thing, and God never disappoints in his promises, guys. This wraps up this week's message. Stay tuned. I have a great message coming next week, but I don't want to say, but I'm excited to give it. And it's a little touchy, but it's in the works, and I can't wait to say it, guys. So stay safe out there. Keep your head straight. Keep praying. Don't forget to get in touch with the Word. Read it every day, guys, even if it's just a verse or 2. I love you guys. Stay safe.